Hello everybody and welcome to this guide video on how to make the correct pull. Yes, you can actually by thinking that you're adjusting the same amount of rings actually not be adjusting the same amount of rings as the person you're following. I'm gonna talk about that in this video for you and hopefully you will understand. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. Last but not least, go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for more guides and also the best tournament and tour play text guides on the market. Yes, there is a way here that actually recognized just a day ago before I'm making this video, and that I'm gonna tell you the story real quick. First, there is a guy sending me a video. We're talking about hole number 8 in the Safari Sunrise tournament and the second shot. He sent me a video and asked me, Tommy, how do I miss this one left? Because I adjusted 2.7 rings as I was supposed to do. I did everything correct. You know, that's standard when someone reach out to me, because then and for me, knowing that hole 8 in Masters second shot, I've hit right at pin every time. So then I know that it's most likely gonna be something wrongly done with his adjustment. At least that's my first assumption, but obviously I'm gonna take a look at it. So take a look at the video. He has no curl, he has no unintentional overpower or underpower, and he has ball guideline to the hole, right at pin, exactly as I do. He adjusts, hit perfect, and he burned the left side cup. And obviously, when we're playing tournaments, especially, the par 4s are massive. We need to get those 1-2 drops, as we often are so dialed in, and it should be just to hit perfect, in my opinion, especially if you do everything correct. So I started to look at the amount of rings that he was adjusting, and for those that haven't seen, I adjust always over the bullseye. I start before the bullseye, pull over. So I start 1 ring before bullseye, and then pull, then, you know, that 1 ring and then 1.7 ring extra to get my 2.7 rings, okay? But he is pulling from the outside white ring 2.7 rings into, which means that he's not ending up at the bullseye, he's not going over the bullseye. And there, ladies and gentlemen, there we have a difference. We have a difference of 0.2 rings, at least when it comes to the thorn. And those 0.2 rings is what makes him miss left. So when you're not pulling over the bullseye, you're actually adjusting less amount of rings in many of the cases than if you're not pulling over, than if you are pulling over. So there is a difference there which I wanted to talk to you all about. This might not be news for everyone, but for me this is big news. This explains a lot to me, and it also explains the fact that we should always do the same pull. Like, we are going to do the same type of pull as the one that we're following. So let's say that I make a drop when pulling over the bullseye. You should do that as well to have the best possible, you know, result for that. But if I don't pull over the bullseye, then you should not do it. Because again, there is a difference of doing so. When you pull over the bullseye, you are adjusting more than what you would do. Like, if you adjust 3 rings where it's going to be 1, then 2 rings over the bullseye, you adjust more than if you would be pulling from the white ring and 3 rings in. Weird, yeah, it is, but that's how it is. And I'm not going to go into any details on how to explain and stuff like that. The important part is that we know that's happening. We're going to take a look at the video here, which is when I'm playing my shot here, okay? So I'm putting minimum distance, just to, and then it's spin to the hole. No side spin is going to be applied. So spin to the hole. And now you're going to see how I adjust. I do use the top of the ball on the take shot button to mark my starting point. So 7.8, here we have the wind. I'm going to adjust 2.7 rings, okay? So I start by having a ball outside the yellow ring. Now you see I'm pulling over the bullseye, right? So I'm pulling 1.7 over the bullseye with the 1 ring before. And you're going to notice here, when I hit perfect, I'm going to drop this shot without really any problems. Bounce, 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 and we hit right at pin and get the ball in the hole. Okay, so let's just show that we're going to have a difference here. Let's go into our replays. Let's go and check for hole number 8 when I drop this one on stream. And now we're going to show you with my cursor on stream. Because this is the way that I'm measuring the rings. We'll go to the second shot here and see if you can see if you can follow this here, okay? So Watch the shot. Now, we're going to obviously base, first and foremost, we're going to follow with the cursor with the top of the ball. And then we're going to start over, and then we're going to adjust, you know, differently. And you're going to see the difference as well. And this is the thing that just, once again, explains a lot. These little type of difference could make a difference if you make a drop or not. So let's say here we have a replay. We start with the tip of the cursor just there before, and we adjust the 2.7. Okay. And then you're going to see here that this ball is going to pin. And it's a perfect ball. And we get that ball in the hole, obviously, already know that result already. So we take that shot again. So now, I actually think it was a little quickly done, the first go. So we're gonna go with it again. So, okay, we're gonna follow the being with the tip of the cursor just by the start of the yellow ring. We're gonna do that again. And we're gonna take that one, you know, just so we can rewind and do it again. Because I would understand that this would put a lot of questions in your mind here. So first, you know, we're gonna go here. Now we're gonna move this one a little bit first. There we have the mark. And we adjust, first and foremost, 1 ring, then 1.7. So we go 2.7 rings. And again, we know that we're gonna drop it. So the thing that happens now when we're not going to pull over the bullseye, guys and gals, is that we're going to have to adjust more to get the same type of result. Let's say here now, in this case, that we are going to adjust to 2.7, okay? We are not going to pull over the bullseye, and you could see it in the earlier example, we did pull 2.7 rings when we pulled over the bullseye. But now when we're not going to use the bullseye, we're going to mark at the 2.7 ring, or like 2.7 position, using the cursor, at 2.7, there, and then we're pulling. And you see that I'm pulling 2.9, right? And the reason I'm pulling 2.9 is because we're not pulling over the bullseye. So when I'm adjusting in this case and not using the bullseye, we should technically be playing this shot 2.9 rings to get this one to drop. But as my friend that sent me the video earlier, he did play the 2.7 by not pulling over the bullseye, which means that he loses 0.2 decimals and therefore he missed left. So what conclusion do we go with this? There is 3 things that you can see above. The first one and the second one kind of goes together, and you're gonna have to choose one of the two, which mean first, always pull over the bullseye, meaning that even when you are adjusting rings that is less than 5 rings, you should pull over the bullseye. Or you never pull over the bullseye, which means that when you adjust 3 rings, you adjust from the 3 ring mark to the bullseye, or you are adjusting, you know, from the outside white and 3 rings in. Okay? So you're basically taking away the overstepping of the bullseye there as a reference if you never do it. Because you can't do both, and you can't go haywire and do like that, because then you're gonna go and get different result. You're gonna get inconsistent result, and therefore you're not gonna drop as many shots as you might want, especially when it comes to par 3s and when it comes to short par 4s, especially. Like missing a shot with a decimal, like being under adjusted or over adjusted with 2 decimals, for an example, is going to be a massive change of result many of the times. If you're going to adjust 5 rings or more, always do a single pull, because you have the same thing there. Let's say that you are going to adjust 8 rings. You start at the white ring and then you adjust over the bullseye to the 3rd ring to get 8 rings. But those of you that are adjusting first 5 rings, then you go back and pull 3 rings. That's also going to be a difference. So always pull over the bullseye or don't. And that's all about to adapt to the consistency with pulling your rings. One little thing that I want to add as well is, like, when you're following someone's guide, when you follow my guides, when you follow someone else's guides, you need to do the same pull as them. Like, meaning that you either pull over the bullseye. If I do that, you need to do that too. If I don't, then you shouldn't do it. Doesn't matter what you're used to, we need to adapt. That's the same for me. If someone sends me a shot, I did this, I did that. We need to start talking about this. Because this is going to be a massive help for me personally, but for others as well. And once again, I know that some of the people know this already, but the fact is that I haven't even thought about it means that I have never talked about it. And it's my responsibility to get it out there so we can start the discussion. So the thing that I will do is that I will start pulling only one way. Only one way. I'm never gonna do an in-between type of way where I do the drive, 2 pulls, or like, sorry, if I do the drive, if I'm going to pull over the bullseye, I'm going to do that with the drive, the second shot, par 3, every single time. Or I'm not going to do it at all. And that is something that I will be talking about in my guides, so we can add that down. Because I believe that this will be a game changer for many of us when it comes to getting short. And I understand, or like long or short or whatever. And I understand that this might be a lot to handle and might be very tricky to understand what the H I'm talking about. But give it a couple of looks. Send us an email, send me an email, tommylofberg@gmail.com. And, start talking about this, start thinking about it. Again, we are talking about decimals here, so we're not talking about a ring or 2, which it wouldn't affect the fact that you will go in, like, you won't be going into the rough or into the sand because you're missing a lot. It's minor things. So this is basically just a way for us to get closer and then get more drops. And I want to say thank you so much for watching and listening to me. And once again, this is tough to maybe follow, but it's something that I needed to bring out to you all, because this is something that I recently figured out myself, and then we need to get it out there. In the end, comments in the comment section below, hit the thumbs up if you enjoy the video. This is a short one and just more directly to try to explain this, not to go into any details. I don't care how it works in the ground, I just care what works. That's basically my motto. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck in your Golf Clash game.